sound with American musician, and tonight we will see you playing with successful musician and very much is demand internationally Italian. Luca Nostro, Rome, Gabriele Evangelista, and Stefano Tamborino, Tuscans. All are born in 1961, whereas Evangelista and Tamborino are musicians young. There is a difference in playing with those who have many years of experience and instead a young musician.
Well, I'm sort of involved a lot in a very young scene, and I hire a lot of young musicians. So the music I play is very modern, so it's not. It really doesn't make a difference. A lot of them have listened to my music as they were coming up and stuff, so they know some of what I do, and it works very very easily. I play with a lot of young musicians, so it's it's not a problem. It's fun, actually.
Okay. Luca Nostro is a musician who will be on stage with you tonight. He also sounds like you in New York. What is the difference between playing jazz in Italy and playing in New York?
Well, New York is the melting pot of everything. So people from all over the world are in New York. I grew up in California. A lot of the people that you mentioned before are from, everyone is from somewhere else except for Adam Rogers, who's from New York. So it's the melting pot. So all of the best people from around the world sort of end up in New York. So the level is very, very high. When you come to another country from New York, the level tends to be lower in general. But there are always really good musicians in every country too. And I play a lot with Stefano and Gabriele, especially here, and they're very good musicians. And I enjoy playing with them. So they if they came to New York, they would do well in New York, but they stay in Italy. But it's just, you know, a level thing. New York is a high level for everything, not just music, you know, because everybody comes there from around the world.
Okay. What is the jazz musician to whom inspired you beginning of your career?
Who was an influence? What musicians were influences
Yes.
for me? Well, there were many. I mean, many jazz musicians, the typical ones that I would mention would be John Coltrane and Charlie Parker, Cannonball Adderley. There's a lot of other musicians, Wayne Shorter, Joe Henderson, Jimi Hendrix, Sly Stone, a lot of current stuff. I listen to a lot of electronic music, a lot of classical music, Stravinsky, Charles Ives, Aaron Copland, Brahms. I listen to a lot of Brazilian music, Milton Nascimento, Javan, Ivan Lins, Hermeto Pascoal, country music, a lot of different music. So there's a lot of influence there for me, and it comes from not just jazz people, it comes from every kind of music.
I like jazz for years. This music has its origins in the first 900 and still has a nice audience. Why do you think the jazz society has no relevance as a pop?
Why isn't it as popular as pop? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Well, it's pop music is pop music. The name popular music because it's usually simpler songs and more singable, more easily acceptable to the masses of people. Jazz is a little bit more complicated, especially nowadays. But you have to sort of You don't have to, but it helps to know a little bit about what's happening. It's very rewarding if you know a little bit about it and you can really know what's going on. Um, but you know, so I'm always trying to make music that reaches everybody, whether they know about jazz or whether they don't know about jazz. So my own albums tend to be very melodic and very hooky, like pop music, actually. Because I listen mostly to pop music at this point in my life. I'm also involved in pop music in New York. Um, but jazz is fun for me, and I like improvisation. I like the spirit of improvising and making things up on the spot. Um, I think that's an interesting thing. It always has been for me. But I like a mixture of things. I like to do that surrounded with a lot of melody and a lot of singable things and the like. But pop music is just it's simpler in the sense that the melodic content is easier to understand than jazz usually.
Okay, I thank David-Binney for this short interview. Greetings to the readers of Opinion Post.
Um, Thank you to Opinion Posta for the interview and spending some time asking me some nice questions.
Okay.